Today I'll be making a crushed bundt cake. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Here are the ingredients that you're going to need, guys. Is 3 sticks of butter, 3 cups of regular white sugar, 5 eggs, a tablespoon of lemon extract, and we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 cups of cake flour, and this is what we're going to use. Crush, because it's called a crushed bundt cake, and the cake flour is this in this box here. We're going to start by adding the butter to the KitchenAid and the sugar. We're going to lock it in and set it to cream for like 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so I really had that on a high speed to whip that. It took like 10 minutes. We always want to scrape down the bowl. And now it's time to add the eggs one at a time and make sure it's well blended in before you add the other one. Okay, so you always want to remember to add the eggs in one at a time and make sure that each egg is well blended before you move on to the other one, all right? So here's egg number 5. Next you want to add the extracts. I'm not going to use any baking soda or baking powder because the bubbles from the soda is actually going to be the rising agent in this cake. Only open the crush at the time that you're going to be using it for the cake because you don't want it to go flat on you. And we're going to add 1 cup to this measuring cup. Before we start adding the crush and the flour alternately to the mixture, I want to show you what we do to butter a pan because I don't want to assume that everybody knows how to grease and flour a pan, okay? This is just butter. I never use Pam because I never spray anything from a can if I don't have to. And I'm using the same cake flour that I'm using to make this cake. If I were using all-purpose flour, I'd use that. Just because I don't want to go get the other flour. And all you want to do is kind of pick it up like that. It's going to be hard to kind of show you guys. And if you make a mess on the counter, so what? Just clean it up. Scoop it back up, right? And that's how you want to flour a pan. And make sure that all these sides, so you kind of hit it, make sure that the cone gets floured too. So we want to start with a little bit of flour first. And when that's worked in, then we're going to add a little bit of our liquid, which happened to be the crush. A little bit at a time so we don't make a mess. And we'll do that back and forth until this is all used up. So see, this is very simple. I always want to get in here and scrape down the bowl. I never stop it to scrape down the bowl. I'm such a pro that I don't get the spatula caught. Sometimes I do, I'm just kind of teasing. But that's all you want to do. So now this is folding in or stirring. And then we're going to be ready to pour it in our pan. And by the way, when I was adding the flour and the crush, that's when I put my oven to preheat on 350. And we're going to bake this for about 1 hour and 10 minutes to 1 hour and 20 minutes. So Jada and I saw this cake for sale in the supermarket, right? But when they cut the cake, it looks more orange to go with the crush. But see, it's not happening here. So in order to recreate that, we're going to use some food coloring right here. And we have to go back to primary school days and figure out what makes orange because I only have primary colors. So we're going to go with some red and some yellow and see if we get enough orange. Okay, so the cake at the supermarket had more of a peachish, orangish color. And with even adding the crush to this batter, it didn't change the color too much. So Jada and I decided that we're going to mix some food dye and we're going to bring it to the color that we want it to be. So now all I have to do is add my food dye. And I've decided that I don't really want it too orange, even though the crush is more orange. I want it more of a peach color. And this is a lot of batter, so the little bit of dye that I put in should be more than enough. And all I want to do is make sure I work the batter in really well. Don't leave any on the edges. Make sure I just get it in. And now it's only a matter of putting it in my pan, and I have to go very slowly because I don't want the batter to go in the middle of the cone. So just go around and around and around pouring the batter. And at some point I'm going to end up using my spatula to make sure I get it all out of the bowl. And then it's just a matter of giving it a good shake, or you could even pat it down on the counter to make sure it's level, and then bake for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So this is right about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let's check with our skewer. Came out clean. I always try to go in the middle too, because that's where it takes the longest to cook. Beautiful. So we're going to let it cool for a little while, then we're going to separate it from the edges here and here before we dump it out on the cooling rack. And a little while means about 10 minutes. After allowing the cake to cool for about a half hour, I've now transferred it to my beautiful cake platter, and now it's time for Jada to do her magic with our glaze. And of course, if you remember the cake that we did the last time, we didn't put any frosting on top because Joe didn't want any frosting for his birthday cake. But this one, Jada's going to create a little concoction, some type of a crushed glaze, and we're going to put that on top. So let's take a look at what Jada does. She's using her skewer to just go ahead and prick little holes on the top of the cake. She's not really stabbing to make any big holes, okay? Just like prick, 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 so that when she pours the glaze on top, the cake will receive it and it just won't run off onto the platter. So look at her with her glaze. And all she did was some of the crush with some powdered sugar. That's all it is. And she's just pouring it on top of the cake. And it's looking lovely. It smells pretty good too, guys. It really smells good, see? So it's not going to waste. And you just want a little bit of glaze just to add some extra sweet treat on top of this cake. Because this cake is going to taste good without the glaze. Time for the finished product, guys. Take a look at our beautiful cake. The cake smells and looks so good. Let's watch as Jada cuts into it for the first slice. And let's see how it looks when she takes the slice out. It's so beautiful. Take a look, guys. So fine and gorgeous. To purchase copies of my book, just visit my website at bearpantryshow.com and click on the store tab. Okay, so I know the name is kind of deceiving. I thought about it after I said it, Crush Bunt Cake. I mean, is the cake going to be all crushed up, right? But no, it's made with crush, as you guys have probably caught on by now. I'm glad that I decided to do this on a Sunday because now I can run it over to the church and let the church members eat this rather than keep it here and have us gain our weight back. So anyways, do you guys know that Jada and Joe and I are doing an eating plan? We're doing my eating plan so that we can lose weight. And in the month of October, we all lost 10 pounds each. I have a vlog going about it. It's fun. I love doing that vlog. And you're going to see us slim down as we go into the holidays because we don't want to be like the rest of the people that gain weight during the holidays. We want to be different. Anyways, this cake was lovely. It tastes good. It's soft. It's moist. You can taste the crush in it. And the glaze on the top, Jada just did a wonderful job with that. So I'm glad you guys are along for the ride with us. This is another one in the series of my Thanksgiving meals. We're going to do this all through the month of November. I am like really racking my brain to find fun things for us to do and easy things. You know I like simple things. Thanks so much for watching the show, for liking, for spreading the word about the show, for picking up the book, and for everything that you do to be a support to me. Until I see you guys again, take care. Don't forget to stop by my vlog. Right here on YouTube, it's called Babs Bear Talk. Please be sure to stop by my review channel right here on YouTube. It's called Bear Pantry Talk.